Hey everybody, I'm Doug. Welcome to the Auditory Vinyl. It is Saturday night, which means it's time to take a look back in music and what releases came out back in the day, and a few other things that happened this week. So, right into it. On July 14th, 1962, Bobby Vinton started a 4-week run at the top of the charts, #1 with Roses Are Red. This is actually Greatest Hits that came out a couple of years later, but Roses Are Red are on this song, and his other hits were Blue Velvet, Blue on Blue, Mr. Lonely. He had a pretty good run there in the early 60s. Bobby Vinton, Roses Are Red. July 14th, Tanya Donnelly of the Breeders turned 56 this year. July 15th, 1972, Elton John's Honky Chateau started a 5-week run at #1. This has the big hits Honky Cat and Rocket Man around here, and it's got the interesting cover with the flap, and there's the band there with Davy Johnston and Nigel Olsson. Opening there. This is on that U&I label or Uni label. That was 72. July 15th, 1978, Rolling Stones' Some Girls, 2 weeks at #1. This was their 7th album to make it #1. This is the first one that there was a bunch of legal stipulations with the female celebrities that they used. So then they came out with the second one where they just put the band members' faces in there instead. July 15th this year, Linda Ronstadt turned 78, and Joe Satriani turned 68. July 16th, the year 1900, his Master's Voice logo of the Victor Recording Company and later RCA Victor was registered with the U.S. Patent Office. The logo shows the dog Nipper looking into the horn of a gramophone. I don't know how old this one is, but it's one of my older ones. It shows the logo that they're talking about. And the reason I picked this one, it's got an interesting title, Slaughter on 10th Avenue by Paul Whiteman and his concert orchestra. 1900. July 16th, 1962, the Beach Boys signed with Capitol Records. This says it's 1964 is that picture. That didn't show on the actually year they signed, but this is off the Capitol Records book. It's a giant book that just covers the whole history of Capitol Records. So that was July 16th, 1962, the Beach Boys signed with Capitol. July 16th, 1966, Tommy James and the Shondells made a 2-week #1 run on the U.S. singles charts with Hanky Panky. And then, of course, they went on to have a lot more hits like Crimson and Clover. July 16th, 1977. Sean Cassidy made it to number one with "Da Do Run Run." Yeah. Stuart Copeland turned 72 on July 16th this year. July 17th, 1981. Diana Ross and Lionel Richie made it to 9 weeks number one with the song "Endless Love." And this is "Endless Love" is on this Diana Ross album. She's looking pretty good there in 1981. This album also has "Why Do Fools Fall in Love," so this was a pretty big album for her. Again, 81, 9 weeks at number one, the song "Endless Love," her and Lionel Richie. 1995, Tapestry. Over 20 years later, the album went diamond, which is selling 10 million copies. 10 million sales. It's pretty crazy. Of course, this has all the big hits: "I Feel the Earth Move," "So Far Away," "You've Got a Friend," "Will You Love Me Tomorrow," "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman." Just a huge, huge album. July 17th this year, Geezer Butler of Black Sabbath, of course, turned 75. 1982, July 18th, Willie Nelson recorded "Always on My Mind." It went to number one. Spent 22 weeks on the top of the charts and stayed for a total of 253 weeks on the Billboard Country charts. It's pretty incredible. Most people think that he actually wrote the song, but he didn't. It was written by three other guys. But B.J. Thomas actually recorded it in 1970 and had a minor hit with it. But Elvis Presley had a big hit, Brenda Lee had a hit, and then Pet Shop Boys also had a big hit with it. So it's a great song, recorded by a lot of people. Big hit for Willie, though, in 1982. This year on July 18th, Dion turned 85, and Martha Reeves turned 83. July 19th, Bernie Leadon, Eagles, and turned 77. What else we got? July 20th, 1940, Billboard's first comprehensive record chart was published. The magazine had previously published bestseller lists submitted by individual record companies, but the new chart combined top sellers from all major labels. Billboard's first number one song was "I'll Never Smile Again" by Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey Orchestra, which is on this one. Somebody wrote on it, but yeah, Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey on a cornet label. "I'll Never Smile Again," 1940. 1963, July 20th, Jan and Dean, 2-week run at number one. The song "Surf City." This came out a few years later. This is their golden hits. "Surf City" was written by Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, and he also provided some backup vocals. Drag City, Dead Man's Curve, Little Old Lady from Pasadena. Also a bunch of big hits for Jan and Dean. July 20th this year, Carlos Santana turns 76, and Kim Carnes turns 78. Some new releases coming out this week, or have come out this week. Dio, the complete Donington collection. It's a box set with 5 LPs, bunch of live stuff from that the Donington concerts. Just a massive box set. Deep Purple coming out with a new one this week, and I'm not sure how it's the name of it has an equal sign and the number 1 equals 1. I guess Deep Purple equals 1 is the name of it. Alicia Keys, she's coming out with her re-releasing her album Diary from 2003, and also Girls on Fire, re-releasing that one. Duran Duran is re-releasing their first 5 albums, including, of course, the big one, Rio, and 7 and the Ragged Tiger, which has the big hit Reflex on there. On tour currently, The Corrs, that'd be pretty cool. Bowling for Soup, Bruce Springsteen, Crowded House, and Cyndi Lauper are all on touring, so that'd be pretty cool. Oh man, I had a record lined up to play in the background, and I forgot to do it, so maybe next time. So there you go. That is This Week in Music. Thanks for watching the Auditory Vinyl. Enjoy the music.